Get softer, smoother, and more even-toned skin after just one use with the new Gentle Exfoliating line from Cetaphil. Formulated with a unique triple acid blend that promotes surface skin cell renewal, these gentle chemical exfoliators remove dead skin cells and refine skin's texture while hydrating, resulting in softer, smoother, more even-looking skin. Shop the new Cetaphil Gentle Exfoliating line in the face and body aisles at your local Target store or online at Cetaphil.com.
Hey, it's Austin James. Yes, I'm living with diabetes, but it doesn't have to define me. Thanks to the Freestyle Libre 3 Plus sensor, I get real-time glucose readings throughout the day. The Freestyle Libre 3 Plus sensor is small and easy to wear, giving me the freedom to focus on my life as a parent and a musician. Now this is progress. You can get a free sensor at freestylelibre.us.
Offer available for people who qualify. Visit myfreestyle.us to see all terms and conditions. Certain exclusions apply. Data on file. Abbott Diabetes Care. For prescription only. Safety info found at freestylelibre.us.
Being a marketer's no sweat. You just have to manage dozens of channels, launch hundreds of campaigns, score thousands of leads, and okay, fine. It's a lot of sweat. Unless you have HubSpot's AI-powered marketing tools to help you do all that and more. Get started at HubSpot.com/marketers.
Ryan Reynolds here for, I guess, my 100th Mint commercial. No, don't. I mean, honestly, when I started this, I thought I only have to do like 4 of these. I mean, it's unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month. How are there still people paying 2 or 3 times that much? I'm sorry, I shouldn't be victim blaming here. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/save. Whenever you're ready.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.
And welcome back to the Skating Penguin Network, everyone. It is another recap show. It's the evening of October 14th. The Penguins just complete a big 6-3 victory over the Montreal Canadiens on the road at Bell Center. And the Penguins, they get out fast, they fall behind, but they grit their teeth, they come back, and they ultimately end up. And as always, joining me on the other side of the mic is our good friend Snail out in Seattle. And Snail, roller coaster game, but in the end, Penguins get the 2 points with a 6-3 victory.
Yeah, so happy that they pulled through and got the 2 points in this game. There was a point where I was like, man, please get this to overtime.
Yeah.
And just get the point. Yeah, a roller coaster ride, but man, I feel like for the last, ending the season last year, those last 2 months of the season, and then into the start of this season, that's what Penguins hockey kind of is right now. It's roller coaster, it's ups and downs, ebbs and flows, as they say. The Penguins bend but do not break. I think we should mention our little... I asked you before the game starts, just as a prediction, what do you think Jari's given up tonight? You were at 4 goals, I was at 2 goals, and he lands right in the middle at 3 goals allowed. So, we'll get into the goal. We'll break down the goals and some of the gaffes we saw and some of the whatever. But overall, a fun hockey. I was engaged the whole game. I'll just say that. It was a good hockey game.
Yeah, I think outside of the opening night game, the last 3 games have been overall pretty entertaining hockey games for the Penguins, I'd say. Even a loss in Toronto was a generally good hockey game. Obviously, when they win, you're always pretty much engaged when they're playing well. So the game against Detroit and Montreal definitely keep you tuned in a little more attentively than if they're getting blown out like they did against the Rangers. But the Penguins on this road trip, there's a little short 3-gamer to start the season. They go 2-1, perfectly acceptable. They're 2-2 on 4 points after 4 games. Can't really, given the opponents, I mean, they lost to the 2 best opponents. They beat the 2 opponents that are probably weaker than them. But again, those games against Montreal and Detroit, you got to find ways to win if you want to be there in the conversation. And they looked, I'd say, pretty good against the Toronto Maple Leafs for the most part. So some positive signs in that game as well. But in this one, like I said, start off quick and early. Lars Eller and Rickard Rakell make it 2-0 in the first period. We talked about Rakell's kind of deadline was the Carolina game at the end of this week. Well, suddenly now he has 2 goals on the year. Lars Eller, we praised in the last recap. The dude just plays. He's just solid all the time. He doesn't really make many mistakes, and he gets you goals, which he got the first one tonight, and we'll get to him later. Caden Goulet, I think is how you pronounce his name, gets Montreal back in the game. And we'll talk a little bit about these goals here in a second as well. In the second period, this is where things kind of started to fall apart for the Penguins a little bit. Juraj Slafkovsky, former first overall pick, gets his first of the year on the power play. Early in the second, it's 2-2. And then Emil Heineman, who came into the game with a single career goal, picks a corner and makes it 3-2 Montreal. And I think at this point, you're kind of thinking that this is going to be one of those games. They start fast. Jarry lets up a couple howlers. They fall apart. But kind of in a turn of events from the Penguins of the past 2 years, they get back into this game and stay alive. And it's, again, Lars Eller, another snipe past Montalabo to make it 3-3 after 2. And then the third period, Penguins come alive. It's tied, inching toward the midway point. And then Hayes Letang go bang, bang. It's 5-3. Malkin adds an empty netter. And again, the game could have got away from them very easily. And I said after the third Canadiens goal, I texted Snail, I'm done. Again, I kind of have to eat my words. After giving up that goal, Jarry was pretty solid for the final about 15 minutes or about 25 minutes of the game. So I guess he gets a little bit of reprieve. But those 3 goals he gave up, you can't give up those 3 goals. It just, one, okay. It's just, he was bad positioning, slow to get across. Just the goals that, given they were up 2-0 on the road in a pretty hostile environment, even when the Canadiens aren't good, it's not easy to play at Bell Center.
Right. Yeah.
You just can't give that back. And he gave up 3 and unanswered. Luckily, the Penguins picked him up, but I mean, I don't know. He redeemed himself in the third period, but I'm still everything feels very shaky to me.
Oh yeah. Well, that Caden Goulet goal, I was like, yeah, you know what? Whatever. One, it's fine.
The only thing I'd say about that is I wish it wouldn't have come 90 seconds after taking a 2-0 lead on the road.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
And that's that thing that Jarry doesn't give you as a goaltender is he doesn't really shelter the team from pressure and give you a chance to go back the other way. When the other team seems to make a push, it seems to find a way to go in no matter what. Yeah, he gave up Caden Goulet's first goal. Juraj Slafkovsky, his first goal of the year comes in the second period. It gets by Jarry. That Emil Heineman goal, like you, the photo that you sent me, I mean, I watched it, we both watched it live, but there's like a very indicting photo that the caption says playing the Osgood angle.
Yeah.
And Jarry, you said he picked a corner. It's like, you know, those big double fridges that they have, like those, like, you know, those refrigerators that they have, like the really big, almost like industrial ones where you can open both doors. Basically, he had a whole half of a refrigerator to shoot it into. Yeah. It was like, yeah, he picked a corner, but he made it hard on himself by doing that because he did not have to be that accurate with that shot. That drove me nuts too. When you, and Robbie, when you were like, I'm over it, I'm like, this is one of those games. This is going to be, the Penguins are going to get jarried. Typically, you get the other team would
the other
get jarred,
way, yeah.
But the Penguins were going to get jarried. But no, and you said eat your words. I'll happily eat my words for 2 points. You know what I mean? I'll happily eat my words against, you know, rooting against Jarry or being pessimistic about Jarry for 2 points in the Penguins' genes. So, dude, everyone got on the goal sheet, it seems, tonight, except Sidney Crosby, who was just a point away from a milestone.
Yeah. The big one tonight, look out, Evgeny Malkin. He's on a tear to start the season. Just an absolute force of nature. 6 assists and a goal through 4 games. 7 points through 4 games. He gets the empty netter tonight. His first goal, he had 6 assists. He is now 1 goal away from a number 500. Crosby held off the score sheet entirely. He is getting ever closer, though, to a couple milestones as well. He needs 1 point for 1,600. Still stuck on 8 goals until 600, but I feel like Crosby is going to be, he gets that first, and they start pouring in then for Crosby. Ricard Raquel, he's backing you up, Snell, through these. He started off first 2 games, nothing. Snell put his bold prediction was Ricard Raquel, 30 goals, 60 points.
31 goals.
31 goals and over 60 points. And it did not look good the first 2 games, but now he's back-to-back games. 2 nice shots, too. Nothing gross about those. Oh. And then the third period, for the most part, a depth scoring coming through kind of night. Lars Eller with 2, and then Kevin Hayes gets the game winner on what feels like a very Kevin Hayes goal.
Yeah. No, I like this edition of Hazy. Like I said, I think he's gonna be kind of like a Brian Boyle that one year. You're not asking him to score 25 goals. You're not asking for Kevin Hayes of old. Just be a scoring touch on it and make the smart plays and be defensively sound and lay the body when you can and be hard to play against on a fourth line, sheltered minutes. And he's got a scoring touch and he's showing it here. I love that he got that. I think I can't remember if it was Mearsy or if it was Army who said it, but he's just an easy guy to cheer for, especially with how the last few years have gone. But that aside, he's just a great hockey player. He's just got a great kind of aura about him. I'm a fan of Hazy. So yeah, the depth scoring coming through, something that the Penguins like last year and the year before just could not get any of. And today, I mean, the game essentially was won. Ricard Raquel is a top 6 player, but it's Lars Eller, again, it's Kevin Hayes, and then Chris Letang and Evgeny Malkin with an empty netter. You love to see it, man. It makes me so happy for those depth guys to come through. Dude, we got to talk about the insertion of Jesse Puljujarvi and the subtraction of Rutger McGroarty. Also, maybe we could talk about that, and then just quickly, they keep Ryan Graves in, but they take Jack St. Ivany out of the lineup.
Don't like it at all. Jack St. Ivany has done nothing to deserve coming out of the lineup. I like seeing Ryan Shea in the lineup.
Totally.
Just not for Ryan Graves. Ryan Graves took a bad penalty, and they turned that into the Slafkovsky goal that made it 3-2 or 2-2 early in the second period. So not a fan of bringing St. Ivany out of the game or out of the lineup for this game. I don't mind seeing Puljujarvi getting put back in. I know it was the expense of McGroarty, but I thought Puljujarvi, had a pretty solid game. He had an assist on the first goal. Overall, that third line, it doesn't really seem to matter who's on that line. It seems to still be working. Eller, Puljujarvi, McGroarty's in there. They mix and match guys, and it always seems to kind of come together and work. So do not hate that they can just plug and play some of these bottom 6 guys, and the results are just as consistent.
Yeah, and also Puustinen not in the lineup either. Who was on the left wing? Was it O'Connor?
Let's see.
I think it was Drew O'Connor.
On the third line left wing? Yeah, I believe so.
I think it was Drew.
Yeah, he only had 13 minutes of ice time tonight, or almost 14 minutes. So yeah, he was on the on that third line tonight. Leading.
I also didn't even realize that Ryan Shea was in the lineup until the end of second period. I saw number 5, and I was just like, wait a second, Jack St. Ivany's not in?
For a bottom 6 defenseman, that's not necessarily a bad thing, though.
No, it's not. But, dude, they got, I don't know. The Graves thing, I was like, you're giving this, he's not quite he's a veteran, I guess, in a certain aspect, but we got to let the young guys play. And I'm like, Jack St. Ivany and Ryan Shea last year were on that run the Penguins had, were stellar third pair. So a little irked by that, but I did like the insertion of Puljujarvi, that third line. They've been the mojo of the team. They've kind of been the motor of this team the last few games. They're the only ones when there's lulls in the games. They're the only ones that really seem to have any hop and pop and, game. And Puljujarvi had the wheels going tonight. He was shooting. He was dishing. I loved it. Honestly, I liked Puljujarvi on that third line.
Yeah, he was good in the preseason. He's been good to this point in the season. He played 3 games. He didn't play on Saturday, but I've been nothing but pleased with what I've seen from Jesse Puljujarvi to this point. So, what are your thoughts on the Canadiens? Watching them now for the first time this year.
They're gonna be a problem someday.
Yeah.
I think so. I think that Lane Hudson kid, I messaged you.
Yep.
He's early 2010s Patrick Kane, but I think his internal processor is better than Kane's. The way that I'm watching him just look at the ice and look at options, and he's examining all while his feet are constantly moving and his hands are moving even faster.
Yeah. Hudson has been incredible. He got a little taste of it last year at the end of the season. He was fantastic for Team USA in World Juniors. He was one of the best players on the ice for them. Or not World Juniors, World Championships. He was at World Juniors too, but World Championships. He's going to be an incredible player. He's my Calder pick, just to be a little bit different instead of going with like Celebrini or one of the other big name rookies. Yeah, I just went with Hudson just because I think he has all the talent to do that. His size was a big knock on him coming out of the draft. The Penguins could have taken him, but so could have 30 other teams. He was a early second round pick by the Canadiens, and they definitely got a steal with this kid, it looks like. So, Lane Hudson has every ability to be a top-tier defenseman in the NHL for many, many years. So, Montreal is going to be a problem. They're going to be annoying to play against this year if you're one of the Atlantic teams that has to play them 4 times. Deeply annoying team to play against this year. I'd say next year's probably when the window starts to crack open. But a deeply annoying team to play in a deeply annoying arena to play in. But the Penguins go in, give them the business, and walk out with 2 points, which after 4 games, if you would have told me they were 2-2, actually after the first game, if you would have told me they're going to win 2 of their next 3, I would have been absolutely thrilled, because that team that we saw play the Rangers looked like a team that was not interested in competing in hockey games anytime in the near future.
No, that was like a bad dream, that game, and then it's been pretty good hockey since then. Dude, you got to remember too, with this Habs team, they've got Reinbacher and Patrick Laine hurt.
Yeah.
So that's 2 other Reinbacher. I don't know if he's totally NHL ready or whatever, but he's one of their highly touted prospects that's got a ton of skill and is expected to be a big piece for them in the future. And then Patrick Laine, say what you will about him, but I mean, he was looking like the next OV. Him and Matthews were going to be kind of the face of goal scoring in the league at one point. And then things just, whether it was the situation the teams he was in, he fell off. This Montreal Habs fans were excited for him, and he gets that vicious knee injury in a meaningless preseason game. But he's another offensive threat that's still young and can still, even on a bad year, you put him in Ovi's office, he's going to be a threat to score you some goals, especially on the man advantage. So they're going to be a pesky team all year, as we saw tonight. It's not like they can't score goals. It's not the Habs. It's not like the Habs were when they first decided to kind of tank. That first line that's a first line that can compete against any team in the NHL. You got Suzuki, Slafkovsky. I think he's got a ways to go before he solidifies himself as a true top 6 power forward. But Cole Caulfield and Suzuki are a really good center and right wing, and Slafkovsky complements them well. So, they're going to be a pain in the ass to play against, but also an exciting team to watch. If you're just watching hockey on a hockey night in Canada or something.
Yeah, and even if Reinbacher wasn't ready to make the NHL step this year, being out for an extended period of time does not help the development at all. So hopefully he can get back. Hopefully Laine can get back and make this team fun, because the Canadian fans, again, hockey's a little bit better when the Canadians are good, even if they can be deeply annoying as a fan base. It's just better when some of these teams are good, even if they're not winning the cup, just to be competitive. Hopefully those guys can get healthy, and Montreal can put together a promising season, even if they don't make the playoffs. Something to look forward to. But
yeah, absolutely, man. I thought that maybe the Habs are the one of those teams in the Atlantic that has the best chance to be pesky come springtime, and I'm not meaning playoff hockey, just meaningful games. I think they'll be close. I really don't know. This is just a post game recap, but I'm gonna quickly say I don't know that Ottawa Senators team, dude. I don't know what to think about a group. Did you see that game today that they had against the Kings?
That was just, I don't know if that was and just an afternoon kind of like the goalies weren't awake yet or what was going on, but that was an absolutely chaotic affair. 15 goals, 8-7.
Dude, Zach McEwen, who is a modern day, Zach Kassian's not that far removed from the NHL, but he's a Zach Kassian fourth line right shot guy. He scored a goal from the blue line, just an absolute clap bomb, and it went top cheese. That should not. That's a Jari goal given up, and that was just one of many. Neither goalie had any interest in playing. It seemed like an absolute. Even the Boston Florida game had 7 goals, but that was a high scoring game. But the Ottawa LA game, I wish they just would have kept playing that game because that was just a wild hockey game. 15 goals, it's just a wild. That was a Seattle roller hockey game. What's really funny is Ottawa did not lead in that game until they scored in overtime to win the game. That's what I'm saying. Sorry. They led 7-6 in the third period briefly before. But still, LA was either leading or tied for about 90% of that hockey game. But just, a wild game. I think every every Monday we need a matinee hockey game. I wouldn't mind it. Yeah, put it on the radio, put it on a extra screen at work or something. Who wouldn't tune into it? Now we're talking. I like that. Who wouldn't tune into it? And it doesn't have to be make it like Utah and Minnesota or something. Utah might be primetime hockey nowadays. Yeah, Dylan Guenther going for that Richard. Guenther going for the Rocket Richard, and they're looking to be like, I don't even know what their record is, but I feel like they won every game so far, gotten close to it. So, but yeah, I know what you mean. A Monday matinee game every Monday, dude, instead of like Monday Night Football being like prime time, have an NHL the opposite of prime time, like mediocre time, like almost like a gulag, where if your teams are bad that year or supposed to be bad, you're getting Monday afternoon 1:30 p.m. Eastern time start on a Monday. I'd be fine with that. Absolutely, give me some of that afternoon hockey on a Monday or Tuesday. I think we all could agree we'd enjoy that through the workday, getting through that Monday. Oh, absolutely. I like that idea so much. We should I don't know who we would talk to about that, but that's something we should get trending because I like that idea a lot. Yeah, I could absolutely be down. I'll be down with that. At work on a Monday, just sucks you're back at work, maybe a little bit hungover or something, and then 1:30 lunchtime comes around and you're hey, I could pop the game on in my earbud, or if you have a Bluetooth speaker while I'm painting or something, throw a game on and listen to it. I love that idea, man. That's awesome. Yeah. So NHL will listen to us, giving you free ideas here. Someone's listening to us, Robbie, because I sent you that photo. We were talking about how you cannot measure vibes with analytics, but on the Penguins' keys to win that they threw up on the television screen, they actually had tips to win Penguins Canadiens. The vibes was the first thing. Yeah. Shoot mentality, manage the game. But they had vibes up there. So I thought that was hilarious. Somebody was listening. Absolutely. So they definitely somebody's definitely listening out there. So putting that back out there, we need some more matinee hockey. We need, like last year when they did the all 30 teams playing at the same time. The Frozen Frenzy. The Frozen Frenzy. Just started at noon and let it go all the way through the evening. Why not? Like they constantly talk about growing the game. They constantly talking about this, that, and the other, and exposure. And they'll go play a game in the Czech Republic, or they'll go play a game in Australia, like last year. Just have the TV just blocks of hockey games all hours. So if you watched a certain channel, that's all you can watch. It would be heaven for us, and I think that it would get other people. There's some dad who's like, he gets off of work, lunch pail type guy, gets home 3:00, goes immediately to the recliner, pops open an ice cold beverage of some sort, and he just watches sports. And if there was a day of full hockey on, that guy will be glued to his chair for 8 hours watching hockey games.
I mean, so many people work from home nowadays.
True.
That you could easily get good ratings for your afternoon game. So, Frozen Frenzy from noon till midnight. Give us 12 hours of hockey. Nobody's going to complain about that.
No, except maybe my partner. She might complain because I will just be creating odors on a couch for 9.5, 10 hours and
it's eating
one day. All of our food.
It's one day.
It is just one day. But yeah, that's one day that she will not get the TV in the living room and she would be banished to the bedroom to watch her shows. So, but I'm all for it, man. Just give me more hockey to watch. Now that dude, I got to just be honest. Now that we're like, the rainy season is starting to come out here in the Pacific Northwest. It's colder, it's rainier a little bit more consistently. My work season has finally started to come to an end. Except for today, I got 2 calls wanting bids on jobs, but that's a story for another day. I have just been leaning into being a degenerate. I am like, there's a pizzeria in our town, like literally 4 blocks away from my house, little local spot owned by local people. They introduced a vegan cheese option like 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
you know, I picked up a vegan pizza tonight, and you know that, dude, it's only 7:00 here, 7:45 out here right now. I still got a couple games I can watch tonight, and I've already watched a matinee game today.
Yeah. So you got plenty of more fun headed your way this evening. It's obviously later out here, but before we wrap up here, looking ahead the rest of this week, Wednesday, back home at PPG Paints Arena, the Buffalo Sabres come to town for the team's first meeting of the year. And then Friday, the 18th, again at home, last home game before a long road trip out to Western Canada. It is the Carolina Hurricanes in town. So the Penguins' second Metro clash of the early season here, but that'll be the last home game before they head out west. So, yeah, Sabres, Hurricanes the rest of this week. A chance to make some noise before heading out west. Snail, anything else before we put a bow on this?
Yeah, who's starting in net?
I think you're going to see each goalie the next 2 games, or one each game, unless Nedeljkovic is ready. But I still think even if Nedeljkovic gets healthy before they go out west, you'll see Jari once and whoever the backup is once, whatever order that is. To be determined, but I think you'll see each of them. Jari played well enough in the final 25 minutes to warrant another start. So, yeah, you'll see.
Starts Buffalo?
I could see him going Blomqvist with Buffalo.
I'd like to see Blomqvist with Buffalo. I don't think Buffalo is much of a threat right now. They're fighting each other in practices.
Yeah.
Give him a little feather in his cap, boost of confidence, and then give Jari the last place in the Metro, Carolina Hurricanes, but they've only played 1 game, so.
Yeah, bizarre that it's already almost, the season's like 6 days old and they've only played.
Washington's only played 1, 2, and they lost as well.
Yeah. Washington did not look very good from what I saw in their game. So, yeah, Buffalo for Hurricanes. We'll have recaps for both of them as always. Snail, any last words? Or are we good to wrap this up?
Let's wrap this up.
All right, guys. Penguins win 6-3 in Montreal. They are 2-2-0 on the season. Lars Eller gets 2 goals. Evgeny Malkin has 3 points, and the Penguins head home with a victory. So for Snail, I'm Robbie. We'll talk to you guys later this week.